Good evening, everyone. It's your guy John Knight with FFL Knights. We are have our great pleasure of having Daniel Gordon, who is the president of FFL Gold, on this week. Having him back. Daniel's actually Hall of Fame producer as of 2023. He is a VP, soon to be an SVP. Welcome, Daniel. How you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Good, man. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
So Daniel, just revisiting what you've done in the last year. I know it's been probably about a year since we talked. Not over this kind of platform. Tell us about how many people are on your team. What you're doing now since we talked last. You have a lot of cool things going on. Daniel's actually utilizing AI to do some cool things. So I'll let you kind of take it away.
Yeah. I started back in September of 21 is when I first started FFL. And, I did the dialing, the, in-home appointments. Yeah. Me and my wife quit our corporate jobs just flat out. We wanted to open up our own thing. And we saw FFL. We saw, brick and mortar PNC agencies. So we shopped everything, right, to see what's going to be the best bet. But we wanted to see, what doesn't require, $500,000 in capital, $1 million in capital, or a couple hundred in capital. Looked at FFL and it was just like, you can start profiting from day one. And we were like, this is crazy. Like, so I don't got to pay salaries. I don't got to do this or that. We're like, no, you just produce, you can build a team. You don't have to pay salaries to anybody unless you hire staff down the road when you get really big. But yeah, I did the dialing early on. My wife did it in-home appointments, did that. We were profitable, for sure. Everything was good, and then I was driving a lot. I was driving all over. I'm in Indiana, so I was driving all over Indiana. Loved it. I loved in-home appointments. Don't get me wrong. And then there was a CRM that was created within the hierarchy about probably June of last year. People were test piloting it. And I was curious about it. I was like, I don't know. I did phone sales for 15 years. I don't want to get back to phone sales, One of my team, Teresa, she started piloting it and she had her biggest week. I said, what's going on? All of a sudden you just killed it this week. And then second week, third week, a killer month. I'm like, now I'm curious. Now it piqued my interest. What is going on? And then she's like, just keep an open mind. Okay. So then we looked at the CRM and they eliminated dialing, which was incredible, which is you're using AI to communicate with leads. I just tried it one day and I had like 6 apps and it wasn't even the end of the day. It was like, I put in 6 apps. I was like, this is crazy because the AI is forcing the client to confirm the appointment. I'm not doing anything. All I'm doing is showing up to appointments. I'm like, this can't be real. And it felt really weird because it was like, it's too easy. It's like the way the system is it's just amazing, but we're using technology to our advantage, and I just got comfortable with it. I'm like, how can we scale the business now? So then I just started like posting stuff about not dialing. And then all of a sudden, we got 20 people on our team. Yes. How many writers? People that are writing on our team. So we got 20 active writing agents that are consistent every week. Everybody gets that where you get your agent who's writing, and then agents that write here and there. We got about, I would say, close to 90 right now in the pipeline.
Oh my gosh! Wow!
In a month.
Wow.
So, and you always got to I had to scale back my production so I can focus on training people because what good are you if you're just going to put people on and not help them? You got to, I have to scale back my production now and I have to train these people and make sure they know what they're doing because that's the right thing to do. You bring someone on, putting all the trust in you, you have to dedicate time to them. And that's when I post a lot about, waking up at 6 a.m. Not that I want to, of course I want to get up early, but I'm forced, I got 2 daughters.
Yeah.
When my one daughter goes to kindergarten, so I gotta get up early. Me and my wife get up early every day, and I'm if I'm not selling, I'm recruiting. If I'm recruiting, I'm not selling, and I had to scale back my production just to make sure everybody gets what they need. And we got a really good system in place. We got the boot camp that was created. It wasn't just our team creating the boot camp. It was like 5 other teams involved within the
Mhm.
hierarchy, and I think that's really good. Like when we get someone on, we shoot them the boot camp. We get them in Discord. Discord
Mhm.
is a way, gamers can't. Gamers used that years ago. I remember gamers used to use that. Now everybody's using Discord. It's just a more efficient application to manage everybody and get everybody what they need. So we do that. If they're not licensed, we shoot them the study material. They pass the test. We get them in Discord, and then we send them to boot camp while they're waiting for contracting. And I know there's automations with recruiting too, but yeah, I don't want to take the human element out of that. AI is good, but you never want to just totally take away the human element, because that's not going to work either.
Well, that's awesome, man. Tell us a little bit. I mean, obviously, your wife is helping you out with that business, with your business. Tell us a little bit about that dynamic. I always say hats off to you, because I know it's not easy to work with your spouse, but you guys have seemed to figure it out and just really be successful with it. So tell us about that and how
Yeah.
that works, and what type of tips you would give to anybody else that's
Yeah.
doing it with their spouse. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about accountability,
Mhm.
because I don't want my wife saying, my husband's a bum. He's not working. He's not doing anything. Just sitting there all day doing nothing. So obviously that gets me motivated. She's
And
always
she'll tell you too.
she's always working. It's never
That's
me.
right. That's right.
She does. I would have to say most of the work, and I focus on recruiting, and I focus on training and producing. She focuses on everything else, and she's got she's very organized. I'm not very organized when it comes to certain things. I got ADHD really bad. Maybe that's why I'm good at recruiting and other
Yeah.
stuff. But she's got her roles. She does very well, so I don't bother her. Yeah, I'm downstairs most of the day. I'm cleaning the dishes. I'm taking the dogs out. I'm making sure the girls get what they need. My wife's taking care of the school stuff, but I'm always making sure I'm cleaning, because I don't want her to come downstairs after she's been contracting all these people and the house is a mess. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
that's cool. You can do that because of the fact of the AI setting those appointments for you. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So that's definitely a benefit, because you can still have a really good home life and still be able to be super successful. So you were probably writing about probably about 10 to probably 12 a week. What are you writing now once you've set up with
well, I had to scale back. I'm probably producing half of what I produced
oh, okay.
before.
Okay.
Yeah, so if
Well,
I
your
had a
first couple
full if I was working 5 days a week, I could probably, hit 25 a week, no problem.
okay.
I just can't do that because I want to focus on the team.
Mhm.
With the CRM that we have, you can easily do that. It's all about how much do you want to make. I always tell my agents, how much do you want to make? This is what you need to spend, you
Mhm.
know, and this reality. You're not going to make, crazy money not spending any money unless you're really good at, warm market, social media.
Mhm.
That's hard. That can be done, yes, but it's very
Yeah.
difficult, you know.
You're right. You're right. And I think that's one reason why people fail is because they don't want to spend the money and invest in their business, and they're really cheap about it. And I think that's why they get the cheap results, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I just ask people that are already there, like already at
mhm,
the top, what's your advice? Have a balance, do 40, 50 or 30, 40 a month and grow a team. You can't
mhm,
grow a team doing 200,000 a month. It's tough
mhm.
because, producing is a lot of work too, a lot
Yeah.
of, lot of work. So got to have that balance. That's the best advice I got. And now I'm seeing the fruits of the labor. You got to scale back, help the team, make sure they get what they need, have trainings, and the hierarchy is great because we're all helping each other. Even
Mhm.
though there's not too much vested interest back and forth, everybody's helping each other because that's the right thing to do.
So if somebody's on the fence, I know you post a lot in some of these insurance groups, and if somebody's kind of on the fence or doesn't really understand, or they're thinking about the insurance industry and they're getting like some kickback from their family and stuff, what would you tell that person or those people?
They're not on the fence.
Hmm.
You can't be on the fence. You got to go all in. If you want to be successful, you can't have that back and forth in your mind, right?
Hmm.
Because that'll screw you up. You got to go all in and just trust the process because it works. You
Yep.
know, it works. Anything that I was told early on from someone that actually was really high up in the company has been true. Get 100 appointments under your belt. If you're complaining after your first appointment, you're
You're
done.
probably going to make
Yeah,
it.
I know. Can't be negative. If I get negative people on my team, how do I get rid of those people that are being negative? I got to get rid of them because
Yep.
I got to get them. I got to say, hey, I don't want you poisoning the rest of the the
That's
pot.
right. It's like cancer.
Get out of here. It's like cancer. Get out of
Yep.
here. I can't. I can't have complaining. Negative energy.
Yeah. Now you did PNC before. How would you say that's the same or different than what you're doing now?
Well, I'm not going to say anything bad about PNC
Hmm.
because where I worked before, don't want to mention names, but I worked for I worked for a reptile before. Just piece it together, right?
So did I.
They train very well with phone sales. I have to say,
Nice.
it wasn't I'm not saying it's a bad. It
Yeah,
wasn't a
yeah,
bad
yeah.
job. It was very good. It taught me. It paid well, but again, they made a lot of money off of me. When I found
Hmm.
out how much they made off of me, then it kind of made me think like, hey, when I saw FFL, I saw FFL for years, like
Hmm.
leading up to leaving where I was. The amount of money people were making, and I didn't really understand that. Like, how can you pay over 100% on the yearly? Didn't make any sense.
Yep.
I heard a lot of people at FFL tell me, "Oh, it's because of this, that." I called the carrier. I went right to the source. You tell me how it's possible, and gave me a great explanation. Term doesn't pay out very often. It pays out, right? But it doesn't pay
Mhm.
out very often. So think of all that cash flow they have. Look at the way they invest their money.
Sure.
That's how they're able to do it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Very cool. So, how do you think the economy will play a role in how we grow? Because obviously, people are getting laid off from all the big companies and stuff like that. Going from Google to any company you could ask is getting leaner. So, how do you think that's going to affect our business going forward? Because um, I think there's actually a shortage of people that to be able to help all these people that are out there, because I think if somebody's turning 65, like I think it's like every day or something, like 20 people are turning. I don't know what the number is. It's a lot,
Yeah.
that turning 65. So,
I'm not
how do
worried
you
about
think?
it. I'm not worried about it at all. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Interest rates, they fluctuate. They don't stay the same.
Hmm.
They fluctuate, right? That generates leads, right? And then you got leads that are older and they keep getting older and older, right? People, even if the interest rate stayed the same, people are going to refinance regardless. If there's a bad economy, where are people going to tap into? They're going to tap into their equity of their house. So that's going to generate leads, right? It's nonstop. I can't tell you how many mortgage protection leads there are. It's ridiculous. And you think that, oh, it's the economy's bad. I don't know what to do. Well, we got annuities.
Hmm.
What do you think it thrives in a bad economy? Annuities. Everybody's freaking out over their 401ks,
That's right.
right? So what do? We do FIAs, fixed index annuities. So boom, done. If you don't know how to do them, then find someone with FFL that's really good at annuities. We'll split the commission with you, and you're going to learn how to do it too. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of this business. If you don't know how to do something, you can learn from anybody.
Yep.
If
And
you have a
that's.
question about, like, if you see someone, doing over 200 grand a month, you ask them, hey, what are you doing? What kind of leads? And they're going to tell you. They're not going to try to like hide it from you. It's not like a competition. Everybody's really cool here. Everybody's like open. They're not trying to like lie to you.
Mhm.
It's all trial and error. And you don't have a boss telling you what to do, right? Anybody that we hire on, I'm not their boss. We're in business together and I'm there to guide you. And if you want to do your own thing, I tell people, you don't have to do the CRM. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. You can do your own thing. I have some people, they just want to do their warm market. Perfect. I just want
Mhm.
to get you the high contract with the carriers, right? I want to make
Absolutely.
sure you make money because 50, 60, 70, 80% is not good enough. 25%, you got to be drinking some heavy Kool-Aid to accept something like that, really.
Mhm.
And I don't, you know what it is? I like people that are business savvy, people that are business owners. I don't want somebody that's going to be like trying to convince me that 25% is a good compensation.
Mhm.
I'm not going back and forth with that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you know, that's just how it is. I mean,
Yeah.
low comp. If I have someone at a low comp, they're on a lead program or something like that, where we're getting the leads and it's helping us pay for their leads and stuff, and they're okay with it.
Mhm.
We tell them we're transparent. But if someone's
Yeah.
at a low comp, I say, hey, I look at their experience and I'm going to start you here, and let's figure this out. And what I tell people is, and this is what I've been doing, don't worry about recruiting because I got that down to a science. So I'm going to go ahead and help you out and stack you full of agents. I'm going to stack you full of agents. And I'm seeing now it's working out. Sometimes it takes a little while. You don't see it right away. But I was told 90 days. Every 90 days, you're going to see some type of explosive growth if you keep doing it. So,
yeah, it's like basically putting seeds in the ground, waiting until they come up.
Yeah, that's
but
what
I think. Go ahead.
No, you.
Yeah, no, it's like basically putting seeds in the ground, just waiting for them to come up. But when you mentioned no comp, I thought about that because where I worked before, really low comp compared to what the industry is, and what I think is you're so indoctrinated and you can't put your head up till you probably don't even realize that you're not making that much money because you're working so hard to try to get to that level, and you don't even it's like you don't know what you don't know, because like when you talk to somebody from one of those other companies, they're basically fighting you as if they're making more than what you're making, and they're not.
They're not.
And I think name recognition, all that maybe is what they use to kind of shield your eyes. And I'm not saying they're not good companies, because some of them are, but I just feel like when most of the agents are probably starving or can't even look up long enough because they're not making any money, you know what I mean? It's hard to be associated with someone like that, knowing what we know now,
Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's insane. Like, some people, they just, it's they try to justify the low comp. They said the culture is really good. I'm like, the culture doesn't pay the bills. Or I don't have to pay for leads. I'm like, you're 50% comp. You don't have to pay for leads. But guess what? You're going to pay more in taxes anyways. It doesn't matter. I have to pay for leads. I don't have to. I choose to, because that offsets what you owe in taxes anyways. So it doesn't really matter. It's a shortcut, right? You ask anybody in this business that's making millions of dollars, most of them buy leads, and they spend a lot of money on leads, and they're very
makes sense.
Yeah,
it just makes sense. So what advice would you have for anybody that's maybe struggling or thinking about coming in the industry? What advice would you have from them, kind of looking back?
Keep an open mind. Seriously, you got to keep an open mind. Ever since I kept an open mind, I wasn't so narrow-minded. I was narrow-minded before when I worked at my last company. I was like, I got it good. Yeah, I had it good, but I wasn't making millions of dollars, right? So,
yeah, exactly.
And I was being controlled, and you got to sign on the phones. I was doing like a 3-day work week towards the end of my career, and I was doing like 13, 14 hours a day, and I had to be attached to a phone, calls back to back to back to back to back. I don't know what kind of mental damage that did to me over 14 years.
Sure.
When I quit that job, my mental status or my mental health went back to normal.
Wow.
So I went from high pressure selling to now I have where I do a selling that's a smarter way of selling. It's not high pressure selling at all. It's you're the doctor, the client's the patient. You're the expert. They're not the expert, unless they're like a financial advisor and they already have their life license. Maybe they know. But most of the people out there requesting mortgage protection, or whatever, IULs, they don't know. So you gotta tell them, and then you let them pick. Get them something within their budget too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I had a big learning curve with the chargebacks. People talk about chargebacks like it's the scariest thing in the world. It's like, oh my God, that's like blasphemy. Don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Chargebacks, it was a learning curve for me, right? I was doing what I was told to do, right? What wasn't when I first got in the business, sell this company, sell this company, sell this company. Well, it resulted in chargebacks. So what I started doing was, let me get something in the client's budget, whether it be 10%, 15% of their leftover income, and call it a day. And they're happy, I'm happy, and it doesn't charge back.
Yeah.
They're happy because it's not $500, $600, $700 a month, If they got a lot of income left over, sure, maybe $700, $800 a month, it makes sense. But you get them something that's going to pay out, not something they're going to outlive. I always tell clients that are older, if they're willing to insure you, they know you're going to outlive that policy, and you're going to spend a lot of money versus getting something that's going to pay out guaranteed, right? Yeah. That's not as high in value, but that's going to pay out. And they usually go for the permanent policy versus trying to spend $900, $900 a month on a policy. I can get them something that's $200 a month. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. No, no, and that is a skill.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Daniel, if they want to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you if they want to work with you?
FFL Gold on Instagram. You got me on LinkedIn, Daniel Gordon on LinkedIn. My phone number is there, 845-699-7920. Call that number anytime. Text me, call me. My phone's always on. It's
Yeah.
always on. So I get text messages at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking of joining them. I'm thinking it's spam because I don't know the number. But I'm very cautious nowadays. You got to be cautious. But
Yeah.
on Facebook, I look in the spam folder, but there's some real people in my spam folder. I'm like, how did this get to spam? It's a real person.
Yeah, it's true. That's
Yeah.
true. It's surprising, like same thing happens once you start calling and you get on that list too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's wild. So 90 days. What's so cool about your experience and also my sister's experience is you were able to replace your income, you and your wife's income, within a year, which most of the time you can't do that. You leave a salary job, and most of the time, and most people can't replace it in 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And they're working their butts off. So yeah.
Yeah, the way I saw it was like, I wish I would have made more last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I made good money, right? I made more than I did at my other job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, you have to understand, most businesses don't make a profit for a year or 2 or 5 years.
True.
Right? For us to profit the amount of money we profited was insane. And I always forget that. Like, wow, the first full year at this IMO, we profited good money. And
yeah, and it's unheard of.
It's unheard of. If you go to like a brick and mortar, PNC side, they don't really profit for the first couple of years. And then, they make decent money, they do well, but it takes a lot longer, And you can do this from home virtually, which is great.
Yeah. And I've been doing more at home just because of a couple of situations. And you're right, you really can. And I didn't even really look at, because obviously I heard a lot of people doing it at home, but it really does have some advantages to do at home, because I guess my thing was like, it's always harder to get in your car, drive to the appointment, deal with the people not being there. But then I also think about the other end of it is the fact that, hey, it's still not easy when you're doing appointments because some people don't show and all that other stuff too. Yeah. So you have both there with it. But, if you're willing to work like both of us are, then, you can still see the benefits both ways, and I think we're not looking for the easy way. We're looking for the most efficient, based on our situations.
Yeah. You're right. What I learned with in-home appointments, if you're in someone's house and they're not interested and they're nice people, they're going to buy and then they're going to cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bottom line. I've had a couple clients. We bought it just to be nice. We just decided not to go that route. So you should have told me, well, we can't. I'm a nice guy. Okay. So my chargebacks went from 20% in the field down to less than 5% over the phone. And the reason and the science behind it is you're on the phone with someone, they could just hang up the phone, right? They just click, done. If they're interested, they're going to stay on the phone with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you get them something within their budget that has value, it's not going to cancel.
Makes perfect sense.
That's the way I've seen it. I got no debt with any carriers, none, zero. And it's because I'm not trying to set clients up with I get scared when a client's like, yeah, $500 a month, I'll do it. I want to do the full mortgage. I'm like, then I have to really ask them, hey, be honest. Like at the end of the month, is that what you have left over? Yeah. They're like, well, you're right. I said, okay, let's just do half the mortgage. Let's not do the full mortgage.
Yeah, you're right. And I think a lot of times people want to have what we call machismo when they're talking to you on the phone, like be bigger than what they are. And then it's not even because, we're trying to get that bigger premium. It's just the fact that we're trying to find out and they just tell, oh yeah, I got it. And they really don't, so.
Yeah, that's the thing. You set something up like that, there's that fear of, oh crap, I got the email, they canceled it. Now, how do you call them back and say, hey, we can, no, it's already done. All right. Yeah, I've saved some policies here and there, You know what? I saved some policies. I had one the other day. You'll love this. Guy calls me, young guy in Montana. And he's like, oh, I don't think I can afford this, blah, blah, blah.
Was that one you sold when you guys went on the trip?
No. This is the one I sold. I sold it like a month ago. The guy called me yesterday. And he goes, I want to cancel the policy. I don't think I can afford it. So I said, do you know what this car? He's like, well, I got it through my job. I said, you don't have living benefits through your job. You don't have the cash value accumulation through your job. You don't have this. It's like, okay, cool. I don't think I can afford it. I said, what's your most expensive bill besides your mortgage? He said, oh, my home and my auto insurance. I said, not a problem. I got a guy that can save you money. So I sent him over to that guy. And he goes, because I know the guy's going to save
Yeah,
money.
exactly. Yeah, you know he's going to save. Yeah.
He's going to free up some money. And the guy was like, you know what? Just keep everything where it is. I can do the 60, whatever it was per month. I said, no problem. Boom. It was like a 2-minute phone call. He was done thinking outside the box. How can we free up money for you? You know, home and auto insurance can get pricey, right?
Yeah,
so I help him out.
That's a good one. It's a good one. That one, home and auto, and we need to do that, evaluate that all the time. And cable is so expensive.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, and I probably just wasn't the best way to say it, but I was like, I said to somebody, I think the guy was like, I think I was texting back and forth with him, and he was like, something to the effect of, you know, hey, it's too expensive. He said it was too expensive. I think it was like 50 or something like that, $60 a month. And I said, I bet you pay more for cable.
That's true.
And, and it was true. It must have hit him like in the eyes. He's like, man, that was pretty mean.
It's true though. Yeah.
But it's true, you know.
You got to prioritize your bills.
Exactly. And like I get it. Like, you know, if you're older, sometimes, you know, you're retired, you like your TV, but you shouldn't be paying $300 a month or $150 a month for cable. I mean, now that all the streaming services, you could have pretty much every channel for less than $50, you know, like around $50, you know.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys, you just got some free tips about where to find the money. So but yeah, I think that that advanced market sales is big right now, just with, you know, the thing of the economy. Yeah. And people are wanting to, you know, protect their money. So, but Daniel, I really appreciate you being on again. If there's anything else or any shout outs you want to give to anybody, or
just a shout out to my team. I love our team. You know, I love the hierarchy. You know, we all work well together. I mean, there's no drama. You know, the drama's gone. I love that. Everybody's like, my phone's always on. If someone texts me, call me, my phone's available. If I miss that call, I feel guilty. And then like 2 minutes, I call them back. But you know, I'm on Zoom with my agents, you know, and you know, if anybody on my team has an agent that needs help and they got an appointment, I'll hop in Zoom and I'll listen. I'll give my feedback. That's the beauty of Zoom. They can be a live call, and I could be, you know, helping him out while he's doing it, and I can be drawing on the application, right? And share your screen, and I'm drawing on the application. Click here, click here, click here. At least I did that with one of our agents, and you know, he sold his first policy, and it was like a little rocky, but he got through it, and it feels good. Once you get your first taste of it, you're like, yeah, I can do it again, you know?
Yeah. So guys, definitely reach out to Daniel. He's so generous. Definitely willing to help, and he's helped me a lot. He's helped me with mortgage protection too. He's done a couple of trainings with our teams. So definitely reach out and check out his new system with AI, because it's definitely incredible. And Daniel, I wish you all the success, and I'll talk to you soon, man.
Thanks for being on, man. You always help me out. You know, we're always, you know, you're a good friend, man. Ever since I joined, you were one of the nicest guys I met within FFL. So everybody's really nice, but you're the nicest. So.
All right. Appreciate that, man. All right. Well, you have a good night, man.
You too, man. Have a good weekend.
Hey, you take care.
Take care.
All right.